Today's story is about the criminal Yuri Oishi, who murdered a friend who had been kind to her during their school years and then put her dead body in a box and furthermore exploiting her friend's identity. On May 21, 2014, a body was discovered in a warehouse in Hokioji City, Tokyo. Through DNA analysis, the victim was identified as Rika Okada, a 29-year-old nurse who had been working in Osaka. In fact, the police had been investigating Rika's activities prior to this incident. She was last seen leaving work on March 21, 2014. Her mother, unable to contact her daughter, became suspicious and visited Rika's apartment on May 2. Upon finding a significant amount of blood inside the house, Rika's mother reported it to the police. Based on this report, the police suspected that Rika was involved in some incident and began investigating to find her. Eventually, they discovered her body in a warehouse in Hokioji City. Due to the advanced state of decomposition, limited information could be obtained. However, the autopsy revealed that she had been stabbed more than 50 times with a sharp weapon, primarily in the chest and abdomen, leading to her death. Considering the method of the crime, the police speculated that the murder was likely driven by strong resentment. They started their investigation by focusing on Rika's relationships with people around her. Before long, the police narrowed down their list of suspects to one individual. That person was Yuri Oishi, who was Rika's elementary school classmate. Yuri, born in Brazil, moved to Japan with her parents when she was in elementary school. She had a hard time adapting to the sudden change in the environment. However, Rika was kind to her. Since their homes were in the same direction, they used to go home together after school, and they became very close friends. As they entered high school, their paths diverged. Rika pursued nursing at a specialized school and became a nurse, while Yuri went to high school but later returned to Brazil for her studies. However, Yuri found it difficult to adapt even in her home country, so after graduating from high school, she returned to Japan. She settled in Hokioji City near Tokyo, working part-time to make a living. Yuri happened to meet a woman, A, and they developed a very close relationship. They decided to live together. A Chinese woman who was studying in graduate school at that time, not only handled the house contract but also covered all the rent expenses. However, their relationship came to an end around the fall of 2013 when A graduated and got a job offer from a Japanese-affiliated company in Shanghai. Yuri, faced with this dilemma, decided to move to China with A and live together again. But there was one problem: Yuri had not renewed her visa since around 2007, making her an illegal resident in Japan. To go to Shanghai, she needed to somehow establish her legal status. If A left, Yuri, as an illegal resident, would not only lose her place to live but also face uncertainty regarding her future employment. Desperate for someone else's identity, she planned a crime. Her plan was to murder someone and then assume their identity. To do this, she began searching for a victim based on several criteria. First, the person should be someone she was acquainted with. Second, they should have no experience traveling abroad. And third, they should be a woman living alone. She aimed to find someone easy to lure, someone for whom she could obtain a new passport easily, and someone whose absence wouldn't be noticed by roommates or witnesses. Ultimately, Rika, who had been kind to Yuri and fit these criteria, became her target. However, since they hadn't met for a long time after high school, Yuri meticulously planned her crime after sending Rika a message around January 2014. Oblivious to Yuri's intentions, Rika was delighted to reconnect with her friend after nearly 10 years and, on February 1, Yuri invited Rika and other elementary school friends to a small reunion gathering. After the reunion ended, Yuri spent the night at Rika's home, taking note of her address and checking if anyone else lived there. After about a month of preparation, Yuri, armed with a hidden weapon, unexpectedly visited Rika on the night of March 21 without prior notice. Rika, tired after work and taken aback by Yuri's sudden appearance, reluctantly let her in. Yuri, hiding her weapon, waited for the right moment to strike, observing Rika until the next morning. Rika, feeling uneasy about Yuri's unexpected visit, confronted her in the morning, asking her to leave. Unable to bear Rika's persistence, Yuri, in a moment of reflex, attacked Rika with the hidden weapon. The attack occurred approximately 50 times, ultimately leading to Rika's death due to hemorrhagic shock. Following the murder, Yuri calmly cleaned the weapon, bought a large box, styrofoam padding, and other materials from nearby stores, and meticulously sealed the body in the box to prevent any blood leakage. Once the packaging was complete, she called a courier service to transport the body. In the sender and recipient fields, she wrote Rika's name, and the destination was her former residence in Tokyo. Given the size of the box and the weapon, Yuri explained to the courier that it contained a large clay doll. She even wrote doll in the item description. From this point on, Yuri began actively assuming Rika's identity. She searched through Rika's house, found various documents such as credit cards and health insurance cards, tidied up the house, and then returned to Tokyo. While she cleaned Rika's house thoroughly, she couldn't completely erase some bloodstains left on the tatami mat due to Rika's severe bleeding. On March 25, 2014, A, who had been living with Yuri, returned to China, leaving Yuri alone. Yuri received the doll she had sent to her home. Using the documents she had found earlier, Yuri applied for a passport with her photo attached, all based on Rika's documents. Finally, on April 3, Yuri obtained a counterfeit passport with her own photo under Rika's name. She not only created 6 credit cards under Rika's name but also used them for shopping, hotel stays, and even rented a storage unit located about 500 meters away from her home. She claimed that she needed the storage unit for storing clay dolls. She hired a private delivery service to transport the items. Her actions after the crime were calculated and meticulous. Fearing exposure before she could escape to China, she engaged in various forgery operations to delay discovery. Right after the crime, she messaged her workplace, announcing her resignation under Rika's name. Messages to her parents were casually replied to as if she were their daughter. She kept herself distant from other contacts, creating an illusion that she couldn't return for a while. About a month after obtaining the passport, on May 3, she successfully fled to China. In China, she continued to use the credit card she had created under Rika's name, accumulating expenses that reached $7,000 in a short period. The investigation began when Rika's mother, concerned about her daughter's lack of contact, reported her disappearance to the police. During the investigation, the police found it suspicious that the missing Rika had suddenly sent a doll to her own house for delivery. Upon further inquiry, they eventually discovered Rika's body in a warehouse. Although the sender and recipient were listed as Rika, the destination address was Yuri's home. Furthermore, the police found evidence that a passport had been issued in Rika's name after her disappearance, but the face on the passport was entirely different, belonging to Yuri. Yuri's fingerprints were also found on the tape used to package the body, clearly making her a prime suspect. However, Yuri had already escaped to China. The incident received extensive media coverage in Japan, with both A and the perpetrator Yuri becoming subjects of scrutiny. On May 27, Yuri appeared at the Japanese consulate in Shanghai, claiming to have obtained Rika's consent and created a passport, denying any connection to the previous incident. However, regardless of her involvement in the case, the fact remained that she had entered China using a forged passport. She was arrested by the Chinese authorities on charges of illegal entry, and Japan requested her extradition for the crimes of document forgery, fraud, robbery, and murder. Approximately 2 years and 8 months later, on January 25, 2017, Yuri was extradited to Japan. Upon her arrest and subsequent trial, Yuri claimed she had multiple personalities since childhood, often experiencing memory lapses. She asserted that the crimes, including the current incident, were committed by one of her alter egos. She submitted a psychological evaluation indicating she had multiple personality disorder to support her claim. The prosecution argued that Yuri meticulously planned the crime, including preparing the weapon in advance and cleaning the blood off the victim after the murder. They pointed out that she committed the crime with a complete plan, stabbing the victim multiple times, even taking away her future. Despite her multiple personality disorder, they emphasized that she acted rationally. The prosecution demanded a life sentence for her, considering the premeditation and the brutality of the crime. In response, Yuri's defense claimed that she suffered from diminished mental capacity due to her multiple personality disorder. During the final statement, Yuri left a cryptic remark, stating, "I don't think I did anything wrong, and there isn't even a fact that I did something wrong." On March 14, 2019, in the judgment trial, the judge sentenced Yuri to life imprisonment, acknowledging her complete criminal responsibility based on her motive to obtain a passport by impersonating Rika, her premeditated preparation of the weapon, and actions like cleaning the bloodstains. Yuri immediately appealed, but her defense strategy shifted. When questioned in court, she repeatedly responded, "I don't know," and when asked about her age, she said she was 7 years old. This strategy didn't work, and her appeal was rejected. Frustrated with the verdict, Yuri caused a disturbance in court, expressing her disbelief at the judgment. She attempted another appeal, but on September 11, 2020, her appeal was also rejected, confirming her life imprisonment sentence.